So here in Exercism, I'm currently doing I'm on the TypeScript track, and this is one of the exercises you get to do. This is the difference of squares, and from the introduction, it says find the difference between the square of sum and the sum of squares of the first n natural numbers. The square of sum of the first 10 natural number is 1 plus 2 plus, and so on, plus 10 squared equals 55 squared equals 3025. The sum of squares of the first 10 natural number is 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared and so on up to 10 squared equals 385. So hence the difference between the square of sum of the first 10 natural numbers and the sum of square of the first 10 natural number is 3025 minus 385 equals 2640. Right, so let's switch over to the code. So this is the test that you get, and you just get a blank TypeScript file to work with. So I'm going to put them side to side. Right, so I guess the first thing is we need to create our class. And our class has, it takes an initial value, so we need a constructor. And it has a bunch of properties, so we need a bunch of getters, right? So we'll just smoke that out quickly. So our constructor, which takes a unit, which is a number type, and then get square of sum. We'll just duplicate that. Sum of squares. Then get difference NCE. We can spell. Okay, so these are all just getters. It's complaining because there's no return type, so we're just going to return for now with nothing. We'll just put some generic number in here. Set up the return type, which is going to be a number. Same for all of them. All of the return types are numbers. And unit, I guess we need to create a property for unit, which is a number, then assign unit to unit, right? So that's assigned. So let's look back at what we're saying. So we're getting 5 in, and so this test says describe it's up to 5, right? So we're getting the square of sum up to 5. So actually let's do the sum of squares one first. So get the sum of squares up to 5, right? So it's expecting it to be 55. So that would be, let's just write that here. So that would be 1 times 1 plus 2 times 2 plus 3 times 3 plus 4 plus 5 times 5. Oh, that's not 5. 5, right? Let's just do that here to make sure that's correct. We can copy this. And we can see the answer is, the total is 55, right? So we need to get a range of numbers. So I'm going to create a function to get the range in JavaScript. So we'll just create a function called range. Size of the range, which is a number, and start at, which is also a number, equal 1. It'll return a array of numbers, NUMB. We can return an array. We can use the spread operator to spread an array of size, get the keys. So this would be if the size, which would be a number, so if this is 5, it would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd be getting the keys for. Then we can map over these. And then plus the start at number. So instead of starting from 0, because the array always starts from 0, we're adding 1 to that, so it starts at 1. Right? So if we do our sum of squares, we're going to get the range. We're going to map that over, and what we could do is we could do I times I, because it's times itself, right? Then we can reduce it down to a single number. So the previous value and the current value. So the current value plus the previous value, and we start at 0. So if we run this test now, yarn test. Oh, okay, we need to install the dependencies first. That's done. Couldn't find a package.json file. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. Yarn test. And we can see our first test there has passed. Since we're using JavaScript, instead of doing the I times I, we could use a JavaScript function called mat.pow, which we pass I, and then the value that we want it to be to the power of, so which is 2, right? So we should get back the same result. And there we go. That still passes. So I guess now for the, let's look at the square of sum, right? We'll uncheck that test. We'll mark this one not to test. So square of sum, if we go back to the actual document, so square of sum is we add all the numbers first, the range of numbers, then we times it by the power of 2, right? So whatever the total of this is, times itself, to give us our answer, and then we times our answer by 2 to get our final answer. So we start off with okay, let's move it into const. Call it total equal mat.pow. And what we want mat.pow to have, no. Let's get the total of all units, right? So this is this dot range dot unit dot reduce current value. Wait, previous value then current value. Oh, 0. Yeah. So get the total of all units. So that should be all of these inside the bracket. Then we need to times it by 2, so matpal. So total units to 2. So that should give us our total. Right? And what do we say we do the total? We take the total and do a pal again. So the power of 2. And this should give us our answer. Let's see if that works. Ooh, failed. Whoa. Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Let's log some stuff out. Let's get a total of units. Mm, 15. So 15 times 3. Oh, okay. So we actually stop at this point. If we test again. So we actually need to go to the power of 2 twice, just once. Really? So it's adding all of these first to the power of 2. So let's actually write this out. This one. So this. Oh no, it's 1 plus. So it'd be just these in a bracket times oh, to give you 30. What is saying no? Class 15. Oh, it's 15 times. That's 15. Okay, so it's the answer times 2. Okay. So now we have both of these tests should be passing. Let's test that again. So we get the square of sum. We get the sum of squares. Both tests are passing. And now we need to get the difference. And from here we can see that the difference is the square of sum minus the sum of square. So we need is this dot square of sum minus this sum squared. Is this squares or square? Squares, okay. Let's see if that works. Ooh. Okay. So our first set of tests up to 5 are passing. Let's test with our second set of tests up to 10. I like testing these one by one instead of just turning them all on. Actually, I should have turned off these tests. Let's turn them off after. Ooh, so that works. Okay. Let's see. All pass. Let's try these one up to 100. function. Let's just get all tests going. And let's run all of our tests. And all tests are passing. So now we're finished with this exercise. We'll do Exercism, submit. Difference of squares. That will get submitted to our Exercism account. Refresh, and we can see our code is here. Yeah, looks good to me. So I'll hit complete the solution, continue, and we can publish.